Well, hello there. Good afternoon. So I'm going to continue with my series, 12 Steps to Writing a Book. And I'll just quickly go over the steps again. With space, tools, titles, idea, the DDN formula, description, dialogue, narration. And the last step we covered was time to write. And today we're going to do number 7, which is research. And I've got some notes here about that. And so research is important because we can connect it to a lot of different things. Before I want to do that, I just wanted to go over the number 7 is kind of interesting. Like I talked about the number 12. For example, 7 is always somehow connected to perfection. Colors in the rainbow, there's 7 days in a week, which is good. You kind of do that with your writing. You think about writing every day. Notes in a diatonic scale, musical scale, there's 7. If you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. Don't do that. Okay. So anyway, some things about 7. So just getting back to research, research is important because when we write about people, we have to know what they do, and we have to connect. Maybe they have a job or a special skill. So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, connecting things to what people do. For example, if you have, like you were talking about a lawyer. So what are the traits of a lawyer? So curious, probing. They ask these questions, probing questions. They're good at writing, and the vocabulary, legal vocabulary. You have to know some of that if you're going to put a lawyer in your story. Doctor is the same. A lot of vocabulary, medical vocabulary, and procedures, and diagnosis. You have to talk about that, and the kind of doctor. Of course, there could be a bad doctor. Maybe that's the villain in the story. A pilot, you have to know how to fly a plane. You have to know mechanics of the plane, navigation, that kind of thing. How to talk to in an airplane when you're talking to the tower. If you have a scene in your book like that. A cook, like cooking, you have to know a lot about cooking. You have to know how the kitchen works, the things in the kitchen, recipes, how things mix together. If you're going to put an architect in your book, they have to be really good at engineering, mathematics, attention to detail. So there's a lot of detail when you're building a building, creative person. And then on the other side, we have, maybe a homeless person. And if you've never been homeless, then how do you know what it's like? So you have to kind of imagine, homeless people, once they live on the street for a long time, they figure out how to do things. They're good at negotiating and problem solving. And they're resourceful, so they can get things maybe that they can't for some reason when they're not homeless. So research is important, and the idea for research is to dig down into some idea. You can go to libraries, lots of places to do research. The computer. We can use the computer for research. That's the greatest tool now. You just click a couple buttons and you can get all the information you want. Pictures, all that kind of thing. But digging down and getting this information and somehow connecting that information to the person in the story. You have to be able to somehow do that to the character to make it all seem real. And if you can do that, I think it ties together with everything. You're describing it, narrating a story, adding the characters, and these characters are speaking, and they have to be able to speak like the person who has a certain job or skill to make it seem very real. Otherwise, it's just not real. And if you make mistakes or put in the wrong information, people will know because maybe there's a lawyer reading your book, and they know everything. So if you make a mistake, they're going to know. And then if you can do all this, maybe finally you tie this all together and you finish your book, And there's light at the end of the tunnel. I can see something that's going to happen, and I finished the book, and that's just the beginning of it. So once you finish the book, in itself, that's a great accomplishment. But then you have to market it and sell it. So that's the next part, and so you have to do a lot of research there, marketing the story or the book once you finish it. Okay, so that's it for today. Good luck and goodbye.